I think they can hear us now.
Can they?
Pretty sure.
Alrighty. Just stay on.
So what were you
gotta
hear us now?
You gotta pause it.
Pretty sure. Hold on.
Just stay on.
You're horrible.
So come on. Pause it.
I had to close the entire window.
Why?
Because it was in Firefox, and I hate Firefox.
And I hate Firefox.
I used to like Firefox, but
I hate it now. Oh my god, it's such a pain in the ass.
Georgie wants to know.
You're first. You win nothing. Absolutely nothing.
No, he can go on the wheel of fish.
It's a wheel.
And then you get to pick a box from one of two boxes.
And you pick wrong, and you win nothing. Absolutely nothing.
I guess that's an awesome way to start what is sure to be a sadly anticlimactic stream.
Really, you think it's gonna be anticlimactic?
Yeah, because these, people want to hear you yell about shit. And
where's
whatever.
My cookie, motherfuckers? He says. I ate it.
No. The turtle hanging from the ceiling has it in its beak.
No, our kids ate it.
Our kids.
You know, the kids ate
an entire tin of fucking cookies.
A whole it's our 15-year-old's birthday. She's 15 today.
That's right.
15 on the 15th, and one of her friends baked her a whole tin of cookies.
And ate half of it.
No, they ate it all.
Well, no, but the friend probably ate half of it.
There was 3 of them. 3 of them, and they ate a whole fucking tin of cookies, and then a bag of chips, and a whole thing. Jesus Christ! I'm telling you, if you don't have kids, and you're thinking of having kids, when they hit about 13, 14,
kiss your savings goodbye.
Yeah, because all your money goes on food. Like they don't stop eating. They don't, whether they're a boy or a girl.
Yes. And so they
and yes, and Christ. Then donate to my Patreon.
Yes, donate to Patreon. Send me monies. I need to feed my kids.
Yeah, we need to give them more cookies.
I'm gonna put them all in a room together, like with one knife for like a week. And see what happens.
I like when Basie says IQ is mostly bullshit. Go home. The stream's over.
Yeah. That's what I was saying. It's going to be kind of anticlimactic because people are expecting, right? And this is what I thought I was going to do because I said I was going to do it and I wanted to do it. I said I'm going to listen to that Sam Harris Charles Murray interview.
Yeah, that was
right. And then I'm going to take it apart and see, look at all the moving parts and whatever.
The moving parts? They don't have any moving parts in their heads.
They have too many moving parts in their heads. I think they No. What happens is, like, I'm listening to the podcast and then, like, everything is a caveat and everything is this smarmy.
Well, we don't really know, but we think it's this. So it is this, but no, we don't really know.
It's not this,
and then
it's the other thing.
It's the same thing.
Yeah, there's
over and over and over. And it's like
these constant contradictions. Look, he did another podcast, right? Sam Harris did another podcast. And it was I'll look it up in a bit. I'll get to that. But that's why I titled this one The Alchemy of IQ. Yeah, because that's what it reminds me of. Look, IQ, look, there are tons, there's reams of data.
I said to you before we started this stream earlier, right? I said, I don't know what I'm gonna be able to add to this because all it is, it's bullshit and that's it.
It's kind of, but no, well, because as I listen to it, and I am I'm waiting for them to cite who they're talking about and all this kind of stuff, and there's almost none of that.
Well, no, he says there's someone, but I can't mention who. Oh, well. Well, thank you, Mr. Murray.
And it sounds like you're selling snake oil.
It is, but it's like a religion. You have to believe.
Yeah, you have to believe it.
Even for all that I don't like of Jeff Holiday, even he admits, like, he did a whole stream on IQ, right?
Oh, did he?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And
I have to hear it. I haven't listened to it.
Even he says in that stream, he's like, it's bullshit. Like, you can't measure intelligence. He's like, there's no.
Well, see, but that's the thing that I came to, right? Because words, right? Because I do words. This is what I do. It's odd, but you have to, like, there's a skill to doing it, and then you learn it in college, in grad school, you know. And if you look at because I was, I was trying to get some information. I guess my winning personality doesn't always go over so well.
Nick doesn't go over well at all.
No. And so,
what winning personality?
I have a winning personality. Shut up, believe it.
Where'd you hide it?
Shut up, believe it.
Where'd you hide it?
It's in little bottles that I sell for $9.95.
Is it hidden?
What childhood?
Yeah, exactly my point.
Oh, man, fuck you. Fuck you. I was little.
Yeah, right.
Well, I was little. Now I'm big.
You were a little old person.
I'm a little old person. My knees didn't hurt back. Well, maybe they didn't. I don't remember. Because I don't remember a lot of things nowadays. But I took a look at the definition. That's because I asked this guy showed up in my mentions, which is why I'm doing the stream today.
Mabasi wants to know, will the bottle make us more virulent? I can't say the word. Virulent. I can't say the fucking
virulent.
I can't say the word. It's like aluminum. I can't say it.
Aluminum, dear. Aluminum.
Whatever.
Yes, we'll all go viral. We'll all go viral.
I can't.
I don't know if that's a good thing,
I think
though.
my mouth
I think
took a vacation.
Well, that's pretty. It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
It's Sunday.
It's asleep.
And it's Tuesday, so you know I'm not saying anything. It's Tuesday. I'm not saying nothing. Yeah. The thing about it is, right? As I'm going through the podcast and I'm looking up the things that these guys. There are a couple of guys. They're on my stream. I'm not gonna bother to mention them because I don't want nobody, you know,
on your stream or your timeline.
On my timeline on Twitter.
Yeah, this is a stream. That's
did I say stream?
Yeah, you said stream.
Sorry.
But
I don't want nobody to accuse me of like, well, you send people after me and like that. There's two dudes that one is a postdoctoral fellow in psychology at a major university, not in the States, but at a major university, and I'm like, oh, good, you're gonna tell me what intelligence is, right? Not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much. He quoted me a clearly biased definition of what intelligence is, based on the 1994 letter. I think it was
I remember what that was.
Can you pull it up?
I'm gonna see if I can pull it up.
And I'm looking at the definition and I'm going, what the fuck is this bullshit? If I hired you to write me a dictionary, I would fire you for this definition alone. And it's not even because I'm biased or something. It's because it's a shitty definition.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. It's in my timeline here somewhere.
Hey, Matt, man.
When was it? I don't remember.
It was yesterday.
It was yesterday? Okay, yeah. I've gone too far then.
I've gone too far. All right, look. I was working on a GIF of it to post. So I'll open up Fireworks and look in the recent files thingy, in the recent files menu. So if I cut out a little bit, that's why, because Fireworks.
No, I'm gonna find it. So
is a rather big software program. But anyway,
it's right here.
So yeah, and I'm looking at but I need the definition though, because I want to go through it.
I know, which is why I'm looking for it.
So yeah, I was looking at and it reminded me of like astrology. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That it's science-y. It's science-y. And I hate to shit on statistics and I hate to shit on psychologists, but it's not a science.
Okay, here.
It's not.
Here, quote. This is it. This is what the guy gave you, okay? Quote, intelligence is a very general mental capability that, among other things, Involves the ability to reason, plan, solve problems, think abstractly, comprehend complex ideas, learn quickly, and learn from experience. It's not merely book learning, a narrow academic skill, or test-taking smarts. Rather, it reflects a broader and deeper capability for comprehending our surroundings, catching on, making sense of things, or figuring out what to do.
And that is actually a fancy way of saying we don't know.
Yeah, because if it involves the ability to reason, plan, solve problems, think abstractly, comprehend complex ideas, learn quickly, and learn from experience, right?
Yeah.
Then that's pretty much like pretty much everyone, unless you have like a severe brain damage.
Well, it's not just that, right?
And it also includes quite a few apes in there.
Okay, by the way, by the way, it comes from the title of this. This is a letter signed by 50 or 51. Okay, 51 professors. And this letter was published as an opinion piece. This is not an academic work. Okay?
No, it's not.
This is not. By a woman named Linda Gottfredson, right? And she contacted like 113 people, or 131, I forget.
Yeah, yeah.
And 51 of them responded. 48 of them didn't, and I don't know what the hell happened to the rest of them. and no one else knows either.
They never existed.
Murray references 2 people that he knows signed the letter.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Here, I just want to say, Boss says, I scored above when I was 12 and below at 15 when I was going through a major breakdown. IQ is bullshit. Yeah, it is bullshit because it's never static.
Well, no, right? That's the thing.
Because, look, I took an IQ test back, I guess I was about 19, I guess. And I got 151. I scored 151, which was like...
Do you remember if it was the Wechsler?
You
don't remember the kind of test?
I don't remember. It was like one of the more like mainstream ones.
Okay.
So I don't know, but it was given to me by a professional psychologist, I guess, or psychiatrist.
Oh, by the way, let me make a caveat before you continue.
Yeah, yeah.
A recent study I saw, I forget where I found it linked. Just pray that I link it at the bottom, at the end, guys. Yeah. Right? Just pray that I link it. I want my own Coke, damn you.
I'm drinking your coffee.
Stop drinking my coffee.
That's not tea, that's coffee.
Why are you drinking my coffee?
I don't want your coffee.
Don't be drinking my coffee.
Take
what
your
the
coffee.
Man, people in New York will stab others for coffee.
Don't go ahead and stab me.
It's Tuesday already. Okay, we can do that. Not now, though. We're busy now.
So what are you saying?
We're busy. Apparently, a study has come out that, I don't know, I haven't read it, I'm going to read it, that correlates mental illness with high IQ.
Yeah.
And if that's it, then I don't want it. Oh, just for the record.
Yeah, that's the one. It was on the Bayesian one. It was a Bayesian.
Okay, the breakdown, the way they grade it is
on a Bayesian
with
scale
Bayesian statistics.
Whatever.
Right? Okay.
That was the one that I took, and I got 151.
Okay.
And I was like so proud of myself at the time. Woohoo, 151, because it's like way above.
Yeah, Yeah, well, the mean is like 100, right?
Like picture me as Homer Simpson. I am so sorry. SMRT.
And so.
So no, I just want to say, like, I took that IQ test, right? And I did really well. Now, that was when I was like 19. I'm 43 now. If I were to take that same IQ test, I bet you my score will have dropped.
Well, probably.
Yeah, because a lot of it too was based on like how fast I could do certain tasks. Like you had to you had to fit like pegs into certain, like, and it was timed, right? So you had to do
one part of it.
Yeah, it was just one, but this thing went over 3 days. Like this was a 3-day long thing, right? Because it wasn't just testing IQ, it was testing skill
sets.
Yeah,
sure.
And if I were to do that today at 43, I'm slow. I'm sorry, your reaction time is slower, But look, and not just that.
But look, here's the thing.
It depends. Are you tired? Are you feeling well? people who have dementia, they may have been brilliant, like back in the day.
If they're not on meds when they take the test again.
So it's all like.
But look, you don't gotta go that.
No, I know.
Gotta,
I just wanted to.
I don't want anyone to see. That's the thing, right? That's the fucking thing. You cannot test for intelligence until you have a definition of intelligence that doesn't sit on a pile of sand.
Yeah.
And this one, look.
Because some people are really intelligent in some areas, and other areas they're not, and so it's like.
Well, they will tell you, the believers will tell you that it's those are skills, right? And
they always.
It's always a dodge. That's what I'm trying to get at.
It's always a wishy-washy thing.
Look, quote, right? The title of it, if anybody wants to look it up, is Mainstream Science on Intelligence, right? And this is the letter that this Gottfredson wrote that ended up being published in 1994 in the Wall Street Journal, right? Okay, so, quote, intelligence is a very general mental capability. All right, so this is G, right? This is what Gottfredson is referencing, right? This is G, what they call G
for general.
For general, right? That's what they put in the equations. That among other things. Okay. So you're not gonna give me a complete list of what you're talking about.
No.
Among other things, right? It involves. It isn't the ability to. Right? It involves the ability to.
Yeah.
These are mealy mouth words, right? These are words of equivocation.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason that they're there is quite simple. And Sam Harris will tell you, we don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. When you say, and Sam Harris said that 50 to 80% of IQ is genetic. That's what he says. 50 to 80% of IQ is genetic. Well, my question to you is...
This is the nature-nurture.
Well, yes, this goes to the nature-nurture debate. Now, mind you, let's be clear, right? I'm not a science denialist. I'm good with the papers and all that. I don't care what they say, because that's not my problem.
Yeah.
The problem is that from the get, you're stacking the deck in favor of that.
Well, it was interesting because I heard the stream with Jared Taylor and Sargon. Right?
Yeah,
I listened to that whole stream, and I gotta say,
you really got a thick stomach line.
Okay, but I gotta say, like Sargon was really like, sort of, he didn't challenge him much, but he did challenge him when it came to the IQ thing a little bit. And Jared Taylor was saying, that the African Americans and Africans from Africa, right, that they have a lower than average IQ because it's biological, and this and that is genetic.
That's bullshit.
And Sargon actually like stopped him on that one, and he was like, well, no, he's like, I don't believe that. He goes, because you also have to take into consideration poverty. He's like, because if you have less chance of education, then
less chance of a healthy diet, less chance of sure.
And so he was saying, and Jared Taylor had an answer for everything.
Oh yeah, right? That's how you're talking to a snake oil salesman.
Oh well, that's it,
because the scientists don't know, but he knows.
But to Sargon's credit, I'm gonna be fair here. To Sargon's credit, he didn't buy into anything that Jared Taylor was saying. Like everything he said, Sargon was like, yeah, well, I don't think so. No, that's not, like, you can't attribute that to this because that's so, like, it might happen over here, but it doesn't. So how do you account for over here, right? For these black people over here, but those black people over there, it doesn't make any sense. Well, if it was genetic, it would cross all. All borders.
It would be static.
It would cross all borders. It wouldn't matter if you were a black person in sub-Saharan Africa or if you were a black person going to Yale.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even get into Yale, according to like Neil deGrasse Tyson. He wouldn't be a thing, right?
Well, no, he would be one of the outliers.
No,
right?
But if it's
that's
genetic,
what they would say.
If it's genetic, I know, but come on, if it's genetic, then what? What are you saying?
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing.
It's full of shit.
You remember how in high school You remember how in high school there was that one kid? I was that one kid. Not all the time.
Not all the time.
That one kid that fucks up the curve.
Yeah.
You remember that one kid that does that?
That was you.
Every so often that was.
Yeah.
That's the thing about IQ that nobody wants to touch.
Mm.
I have never heard anyone say this. I have never heard anyone reference it, because it's every so often, right? Every like 10 years or so, they have to what they call renorm.
Yeah.
They got to renormalize it, right? So what happens is they get this cohort together, they give them the test, and the highest score, that's 100 now.
Yeah.
Right? Whatever 100 was.
Ron's on.
Hey, Ron, what's up? Ron's on. And telling me is that you're fucking grading it on a curve.
No, they have to keep moving the goalposts.
Well, yeah, but that's my point.
Because
then because intelligence, human intelligence, yeah, there's genetic variation and there's genetic differences. Yeah, terrific. How is it that you have sufficient genetic difference, which you can't even pinpoint, right? But you don't know where those genes are. You don't know how intelligence happens.
Yeah.
You don't know what it is. But let's pretend. When you get to the what level of genetic difference would you need to renorm shit? That's like saying, right? You remember you told me that the house
Ron wants to know, isn't the thing you're talking about called the Flynn effect?
Yeah. The look, you remember you told me that your house, when you got it, like it was a very, 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 very old house, and all the counters were low.
Oh yeah.
And why are they lower? Because people that the people that lived there and the people of that time had a lower average height.
Yeah, because the house my parents bought when I was little, right? It was an extremely old house. It used to be an old farmhouse.
Yes.
And the counters were like really low. They bothered my dad so bad because he was the tallest one in the house. And the reason they were low was, again, because the house had been made in the 30s. People were shorter.
The average height of people was shorter.
And no one had ever changed the counters. The counters just remained the
So what you're
height.
telling me is that within 10 to 20 years or so,
yeah,
everybody gets that much smarter. And the truth is, you're right. Because if you think of like,
well, can I just say another funny thing? Because I had a friend years ago who was looking to buy a house, right?
Yeah.
And he was 6'6". Okay,
oh wow, he needs tall doors too.
And there was this house for sale. It was lakefront property. It was in Vaudreuil. And for people who don't know what it's a very old, like it's one of the first places they settled, right? Okay. Back when Canada was being settled. And this house was super old. I think it was like over 100 years old. And it had, oh God, it was gorgeous. Everything inside was wood, and the cabinets were in the wall.
Okay.
Like you could not get them out. They were part of the house.
Of the house.
They were.
Okay.
It was.
Yeah. They used to do that.
But the ceiling was so low. It was below the standard that we have today, right? He couldn't have lived in that house. He had to walk around crouched down everywhere.
Walk around with a helmet. A helmet with a wheel on top, so his head would roll. So his head would like the bumper cars from back in the day.
Like we looked upstairs in the bedroom, and he's like, I can't sleep in here. He's like, I would smack my head every morning. You know, it's like, no way. It was a beautiful house. He would have bought it in a second if the ceilings had been like 2.5 feet higher.
He needed to get Japanese furniture for everything close to the ground.
Yeah.
So traditional stuff, real close to the ground.
It was called a heritage home, right?
Yeah.
So you can't rip out.
You can't rip shit out. You got to leave it the way it is.
Yeah, you know. So he's like, yeah, I love it, but I
can't
live here unless I chop myself off at the knees.
So the thing is, right? And I haven't gotten a satisfactory answer from that guy from that university.
But you won't.
I know, but I hope. Not really.
Not really.
No.
Stop being silly.
Stop being condescending.
Stop being silly.
The thing is, right, that you can only if this is the case, right, you can only ever be as smart as your society is. Except if you're that 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 0.5% of 0.5% of 0.5% that is at the extreme end of the bell curve and pushing human knowledge forward, right? So if you have a Bronze Age culture, you can never have anyone with an IQ of, say, above, give or take, I guess, 80 or so.
Wasn't there?
Because the state of knowledge of that society is so fucking poor.
Well, wasn't there something? Because I didn't listen to, like, I popped in and out while you were listening to the.
I don't blame you.
The Harris thing. Wasn't there something they said about the IQ, and you were like, oh, but that's like the average IQ of about like 100 years ago. So what are you saying? Those people 100 years ago were fucking morons or something like that?
Well, yeah, they all have to be. They all have to be. Based on how
those white people back
then.
The
white people from back then were let's put it this way. What is today considered like mentally retarded?
Yeah.
That's the skill level that most people would have had back then. Yeah. If this were a thing, right? If this were a thing and you measured it.
I find it funny that you said that, because the people that wrote the Constitution and everything, well then what are you saying? That they were retarded?
They would be the 0.5% of 0.5% of 0.5% of 0.5% of the super geniuses of society.
Yeah, I know, but I just
they are the ones that believe, all sorts of ridiculous shit.
I just find that funny.
But the problem with IQ is, see, I thought to myself, right, and I'm pouring through this information, and I'm looking at the statistics hold on.
Wait, can we just say IQ stands for idiotic question?
No, it sounds like the Jewish question.
Oh.
And the Jewish question is clearly real. Clearly. The thing of it is this: I'm pouring through this information, and I'm looking at it, and I'm looking at Flynn's work, and I'm looking at all this other stuff, and it dawned on me. It hit me like a ton of bricks. That you wish you could hit me with a ton of bricks sometime.
For that one, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought you hated.
Fair enough.
I thought you hated puns.
Well, I didn't. Yeah, whatever.
It was kind of punny.
It wasn't punny at all. It was horrible. All right, so the thing, it hit me when I went back to the definition of it. Like, you don't know what you're looking for. You have mounds of data, right? They will tell you, oh, we've been collecting data for 100 years. Yeah, 100 years of shitty data is really not something to fucking base your entire theory on.
No, it's not.
And this whole idea that the new consensus that's emerging today is that there are multiple intelligences.
Yeah.
Right? And really what they're doing is they're backing off, to their credit, I guess, they're backing off the notion that one number can encompass what your IQ is.
Well,
what your intelligence
is. The funny thing is it would be so
reductionist is what it is.
Look, if I were to go to the Amazon rainforest right now, right, and I met a tribe living out in the middle of nowhere in the Amazon rainforest, I would be the idiot. Yes. I wouldn't know how to do anything that they do.
Yes, you would die. Yes.
Yeah, I would be the one
left to your own devices.
Without them helping me, I would die.
Left to your own devices, you would die. Yes.
What are we gonna say about the intelligence there? Because all my book learning and everything ain't gonna help me.
Well, book learning is only one thing.
No, but you know what I'm saying, right? Like, it's very situational. It's
context
geographical.
It's
geographical. It's everything.
And by the way, so this definition, I'll get into some more of the nitty gritty of the definition that I was offered in a bit, but I just want to point out again that when you start building your house on sand, you get nothing, right? You get a pile of sticks. And the problem is, one other problem is that Murray and Sam Harris are talking about race like it's fucking real.
Yeah.
I mean, at one point they do admit, and you can almost hear the disappointment.
Victor's right. I always heard, quote, the only thing IQ tests measure is how well you can take an IQ test.
Yeah, that's really true. That's really true.
Yeah.
I've done some of this research, but see, that's the thing. It doesn't take any serious amount of digging or reading to understand this. They don't know what they're testing for. They don't.
They have sort of an idea, but they don't know what it is, and they don't know how to measure it, and they don't know how to explain it, and they don't even know how to quantify it. And
they don't know what they're doing at all.
What they're looking, I know exactly what they're looking for. They're looking for something that they'll never find that would say that the white man is superior. That's what they're looking for.
Oh, they hate the Asians score higher and Ashkenazi Jews.
I know. But that's what that is ultimately what they're looking for. They're looking for the Holy Grail, which they're not going to find. It's a myth. It doesn't exist. They're looking for this final answer that says you, white person, are the superior race, and they're just
it's not. No, but the thing is, right, that these two scientists, and this should let you this opens the door, unfortunately, for Sam Harris.
Yes, please, Ron. He says he watched a fairly thorough debunking of the bell curve, and he's going to link it on Twitter.
Oh, terrific.
Yes, please.
Yes, I'd like to watch it. I like I said, I've been doing a lot of this reading, and I've been doing a lot of stuff. So, and I'm interested in this, not because
you believe in it.
No, it's not even that, right? Because there are people that are going to say, well, you're just in it because you're a racist. And oh my God, how many times have I been called racist in like the past 48 hours? Like, no. It's got nothing to do with race, because I know for a fact I'm smarter than you. I know I'm smarter than you. You can't sell me fucking snake oil.
Yeah, when it comes to this
shit, my problem is
your crap.
Yeah, no, but my problem is that it's snake oil. It's astrology.
Yeah.
This is it's alchemy.
Yeah.
And it's and I don't think that people do enough. Look, here's the thing. Just like we don't platform Nazis, right?
Well,
this is not I don't platform Nazis.
It depends who the we is.
The we is, yes.
If it's anti-feminist.
Societally, generally, we don't platform Nazis. Some people do.
Yes.
Of course.
Yes.
But in the same way that we don't platform the Nazis, I don't platform this. There is no debate.
This is complete.
You don't have a definition that is remotely static enough to even test for IQ. You don't.
It's so
you don't. This is made up.
Yeah.
This is just made up shit. And part of the reason it was made up, in case you didn't know, is the immigration laws. They wanted a way to weed out bunches of people, and this is intimately tied. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately for Sam Harris and this guy.
Tied to immigration laws,
that's what they were originally. That's what they were originally for.
Oh, okay.
Well, some of them. So the Wexler one was.
Okay.
Right. They would give it to the newly arrived immigrants, right? Okay. And a lot of them, well, like, fuck me. The most basic shit. Is it in their language? No, it's in English. Wow. Okay, so ask a Romanian or an Italian or whatever, or Russian or whoever it is,
speak a lick of English,
who is just learning English, to take a fucking intelligence test in English.
Mm.
Oh well, of course you're gonna get spectacularly accurate results on
this. Because back when I took that test, and when I was 19, if you'd given it to me in French, I would have scored at the level of like a turnip.
Yeah, and look, here's the thing. Unless and until, just as one objection, unless and until you start putting it in Braille.
Yeah.
All right. And you can't put the spatial recognition test in Braille, right? Because the argument in the 70s and 80s was that it was culturally biased, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
stop right there, because that's what Ron is saying. He says made up isn't quite the word I would use. I maintain that an IQ test isn't a whole lot more than a test of cultural familiarity. Oh my God, I can't speak today. Thank you. That's why.
Well, maybe. That's
why rich white people tend to do so good, because it's rich white people writing the things.
Well, maybe I'd have to do more reading to get into like the deep objections.
What was the thing you were saying about a regatta the other day?
One of the test questions that was originally objected to in the 70s and 80s, I can't remember which, because I haven't gotten to those papers yet.
Yeah.
One of them is
sort
a question regarding what a regatta is, right?
Yeah.
Or having to do with that, right? And so the objection was, yeah, well, inner city kids don't know what a freaking regatta is.
Yeah.
And my point to that, I immediately thought, well, it doesn't matter. That's not a good, because you can look up in a dictionary what a regatta is.
You're right
now,
there taking the test.
If
though,
you never
that's
have,
different.
yeah, no. But see, here's my thing. My problem is, and always will begin with, the misuse and abuse of words.
Yeah.
And look here, let's get into it, right? Because this the so anticlimactic. Okay, so involves the ability to reason, plan, solve problems, think abstractly. Oh, okay, so it involves, among other things, right? So already you're giving me an incomplete list.
Oh, that's interesting.
Because you don't know what the hell you're testing for. So you give me an incomplete list with some of the major points, right? Okay. And it's not that these major points can be tested for specifically, it's that the questions will involve, right? IQ involves the ability to reason.
Yeah.
Involves the ability to plan. It's not, it is the ability to plan. It is this and this and this and no. It involves this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it goes on. Comprehend complex ideas. Learn quickly and learn from experience. It is not merely book learning, a narrow academic skill, or test-taking smarts. Actually, the secret is it's exactly that. It is only exactly that. But anyway, this is the definition. Yeah. Quote, rather, it reflects. It's not that thing. It reflects this thing.
Yeah.
Right, which is again a way of saying it involves.
Yeah.
Broader, it reflects a broader and deeper capability for comprehending our surroundings. So right there, it is completely context sensitive.
Well, and it's also cultural because it says our surroundings. Well, which surroundings are you speaking of?
Well, it's not only that.
No, but you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, but it's not only but it's not only that. It's things like a gilded cage, right? If you're trapped in a room that's a pretty room and it has a nice window and a door, but they don't open, is that a prison or is it not a prison? You know, I mean, all of these things play a part, right? Because you're so vague.
Yeah.
Comprehending, and what exactly does comprehending mean?
Don't forget, a lot of studies are worded like this, because they're based on small samples. So they have to be very. They have to vague.
Be really now.
I've read so many studies on various things, on so many things, and they all use this mealy mouth, like, well, we don't know, but
look. Let's take my gilded cage example, right? It says, quote, rather it reflects a broader and deeper capability for comprehending our surroundings. Well, okay, what does broader and deeper mean? I mean,
define your words.
Is it a person who has a tested IQ of 80 that recognizes the bed in the gilded cage is for sleeping and the floor is for walking, or does it mean so? Or who is more intelligent, right? Someone who has Down syndrome and recognizes and comprehends, right? Comprehends that the bed is for sleeping and the floor is for walking, and the chamber pot is for shitting, or is it the architect or carpenter or mason that comprehends that the walls are made of wood? And behind the wood is probably cement with bricks or blocks, right?
Yeah.
And there's wiring in the walls that lets me flick this. What does comprehend mean? How deep does the comprehension have to go? Because if you're a physicist and you don't know shit about building a room, you may not know what the fuck is in that room. So are you now retarded? Are you now a moron, a simpleton, or these are some of the classifications that were used back then, right, to classify a person's intelligence, right? Where do you fit? Because clearly you don't understand that.
Yeah.
But you understand physics, or you understand chemistry, or you know. So what is broader and deeper? Are they all involved? Do you need to know everything about it?
The best example I can think of is Thunderfoot. He's brilliant when it comes to what he does, right? His physics and everything. But have you ever seen him?
Chemistry and everything.
Have you ever seen him write or explain something?
Yeah, he's monumentally abysmal at it.
Abysmal.
I'm sorry, dude. I the science stuff I enjoy.
Yeah.
But yeah, that rate comfort
interview and everything else. And so does that mean that he's like, and I don't mean like, you know, in the pejorative sense, I mean like, does that mean he's a moron? Does that mean
does that mean does he qualify as that?
You know?
Clearly not. So, but that's the thing, right? This definition, for lack of is vague to the point of uselessness.
Yeah.
It means nothing. It says nothing at all.
No, it
doesn't. It says nothing.
It doesn't.
And so if you're starting with that, then how on earth can you tell me that you have a test that tests for this? Yeah. What this? No. What is it?
Isn't that why people say, especially in the States, they do their SATs, I think it is, or something?
Yeah, the SATs.
The SATs, like, aren't some people saying that that's a bullshit test?
Yeah, and
it's testing sort of like what we're talking about.
And by the way, to earn extra money when I was an adjunct, I taught the English, the part of the SAT.
The English one, the English part.
No, it's abstract. Well, it's not abstract reasoning. It's analogies. If you notice, I have trouble with A's sometimes.
Yes, I know.
Yeah. And
that's okay. I couldn't speak earlier.
And yeah, you teach to the test.
Yeah.
You like literally that is the procedure. Go to Kaplan, which is a major tutoring service, right? Kaplan is a major tutoring service. You got to go. You got to have a really good score for yourself.
Is this to like
to teach?
Oh, I thought it was to.
Kaplan is a company that produces books on how to study for the SATs, and another standardized tests, right?
Okay, all right.
And they have courses. You can take the course
and then
to prepare for the test.
And can you also go there to get certified to teach?
Yes, right. That's what I'm saying. You have to have a really high score. And you go and you tell them what your score is, and they interview you, take a test, blah blah blah. And if you qualify, you get to teach other people how to take what the analogies part is, or the reasoning part, the math part.
Okay.
And I taught a few of those courses just to make ends meet. And we taught to the test. Yeah. We didn't teach people abstract reasoning skills.
But they don't do that anymore anywhere.
We didn't bother with increasing their vocabulary.
Have you noticed though that most, and I'm not just talking about SATs, I'm talking about education standards in general, that it's been so dumbed down to that.
So look, catching on, and this is part of the definition, catching on, making sense of things. Making sense of things. Thank you. Or figuring out what to do.
Okay, so the person that wrote this is a turnip.
Linda Gottfriedson.
She's a turnip. All right.
Well, no, she's a believer. Either that, or she's either that, or like a lot of the people involved in the eugenics industry, they're race realists.
Yeah.
And so let's get on to that.
Yeah. By the way, I just want to say that Boss says, given my depression and anxiety, I would probably score different every week. Yeah, everybody would. I think regardless of having like clinical depression or anxiety, I think everyone would score differently. Like, look, what if you didn't get enough sleep that week? Because your boss wanted you to work overtime or whatever, right? So you're a little punch drunk because you're sleepy. Well, how good are you gonna score on that test?
What if you take Ritalin for cataplexy?
It reminds me of the Seinfeld episode. I don't know if you ever saw this one. George was dating this woman that gave IQ tests, right? And she wanted to give one to George. And George was terrified that he was going to get like this really low score. So he wanted Elaine to do it. So Elaine snuck into the room that he was in. He left. She took the test. And something went wrong the first time, and the test got fucked up. And so they did it over and over like 3 times. And the test score was so, because Elaine was supposed to be the smart one, right? And she scored like this abysmal score. And George's girlfriend was like, "You're retarded."
I don't remember that.
I
might have seen it, but I don't remember.
But she kept getting like different scores, and she kept getting like.
Look, the thing of it is that this is intimately tied to the eugenics movement, and it's intimately tied to immigration.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. You can't wash this stink off.
No, you can't.
You can't wash this stink off. And to that point, someone sent me, and I'm not gonna pull it up because I don't want to screw with the machine.
Yeah.
Someone sent me a video, a podcast of Sam Harris interviewing somebody else, and in that podcast, Sam Harris is explaining about this woman, you know, hypothetical, right?
A hypothetical woman,
who was worried about getting into a steel box with someone that she doesn't know, who happens to be black skin.
Yeah, he was talking about elevators and how instinct,
how society has taught people to ignore their instinct to not get into an elevator with a black person,
because you know black people will just rape you right there.
Yeah. And that's where you get to see the race realism.
Yeah.
That's where you get to see the bigotry that's involved in this. This is a sort of kind way, excuse me, a sort of kind way of saying we're conquerors, fuck you.
Yeah.
Right?
Except Sam Harris couldn't even conquer a paper bag.
Well, but you know, here's the thing: if you know, if you're a scientist, you know, talk about the science. Don't talk about other shit that you don't know. And see, I would be happy if you just told me, "Hey, we don't really know. We don't really know." But for you to quantify
a lot of these people saying "I don't know" is like the worst thing they could ever say, because they have to know everything.
Yeah.
They've christened themselves the all-knowing whatevers, you know. What are you looking at?
Okay, let's see. I guess it'll. Yes, well, that's the problem, right? CFAX in the chat says, in general, people's scores. Oh, fuck it. It's moving too fast. Okay. People's scores tend to be relatively stable, but not totally. That's the problem, right? Because if I go to the hospital, and I'm bleeding to death, they will test my blood to see what blood, if they can't ask somebody. They will test my blood to find out what blood type I am so that they can fucking put the right blood in me.
Yeah.
Not 50 to 80% of the time. Literally 100% of the time, they'll get it right.
Yeah.
You know, particularly barring human error, right?
Yeah.
Drunken nurse or something.
George Dorsey says Sam Harris couldn't conquer his fear of a black man in an elevator.
Yeah.
And Boss, I agree with this. He says it's a good way to attack women, like Richard Spencer's recent brainstorm, right? That women shouldn't vote. But this is nothing new, which I think Southern and other self-hating alt-right women brought up before. Yeah. Judgy bitch, who's also known as
that they shouldn't
Andrea something or other.
Hardy.
Andrea Hardy and Lauren Southern and a lot of these conservative, identitarian, stupid idiot women. They're like, yeah, you shouldn't let me vote. Why? Why do you hate yourself so much?
Why is it that you don't? Yeah.
Why?
Look, but the thing about it is that the truth about this is that it has no bearing on social policy unless you make it that, right? Because Charles Murray in his interview with Sam Harris says that that the idea is, and I'm paraphrasing, right? That the idea is, well, what if you're an employer? You take a risk every time you hire somebody. You want to mitigate that risk.
Yeah.
And the problem is that it doesn't tell you.
Yeah. I think was it back in the, I don't remember what decade it was in, but there was this theory that was going around that the more creative you were, like artistic
or whatever, yeah,
the more brilliant you were overall. Right?
Yeah,
that
was sort
of a theory that some people held, right?
It was like a folk theory floating around.
Yeah, you know, but that always struck me as odd because I'm like, well, most artists are starving in gutters. I don't know how smart that is. Like, really? I don't know. Like, well, not everyone's gonna be Andy Warhol. I'm just saying.
Well, Andy Warhol wasn't Andy Warhol.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, if you're that intelligent, why the fuck are you in a cardboard box? You know? Like,
the truth is, the truth is that intelligence tests how well you take tests. That's what they test. That's what you teach for. That's what's going on. There is no magic. There is no, right. It's literally. As a matter of fact, it's worse than astrology.
I like what CFAX wrote, and creativity mixed with emotional sensitivity are definitely more important. Like, if you're not genuinely cognitively impaired, then there's more to life. Exactly. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's so, I find it funny with all these identitarians and these white supremacists.
They're some of the dumbest motherfuckers around.
No, not just that.
Oh, because they are.
Not just that. How sad is your life that everything hinges on your IQ, the color of your skin, and where you live? Are you not like an individual? Do you not know who you are? Like, do you not have anything? No, but do you not have anything else in your life to strive for? Or
identitarians want to protect their genetic uniqueness and their cultural uniqueness. What I find incredible,
stinky ass gene puddle. Like,
what I find incredible is that you are literally telling me that you want to limit your chances of having healthy offspring.
Yeah, pretty much. Because we all know how it works for other animals when they...
It works for us too.
Yeah.
The more inbred a society is, the more problems it's going to have.
Yep.
And I mean, like, physiological problems, health problems.
The best example is dogs. When you breed dogs, when they're purebred, they grow up to have so many problems.
Yep.
When you mix the breeds, they're so much healthier. They're more robust.
Well, recessive genes get a chance to express in a limited gene pool.
Because every dog we've ever had that was a purebred had cancer. They always had like these eye problems.
Hip dysplasia, all sorts of shit.
All this kind of shit. Now we have a mixed dog. He's what, 8 years old now?
And now we have
He's 8 years old. He's never had a health problem.
No, well, except for that thing on his leg.
Yeah, but that was a cyst.
But that was,
I mean, that can happen to any
animal.
But I'm saying, like, he's never experienced a major problem that I had to take him to the vet for. Whereas my husky, I was constantly back and forth at the fucking vet. So I mean, there's something to be said about not pure breeding something. Like.
But the thing is that we are talking about. Look, this is my thing. Again, we're talking about a group of people that essentially, they feel that everything they've ever had has been taken away from them by those damn darkies.
No.
Yeah, that's what you've got. That's what you're dealing with. You're dealing with low information, low IQ people. If IQ was a thing anyway. But that's what we are talking about, right? We are, and you know what? On some level, I kind of feel bad, because just like I feel bad for people that lose their money to, the
hucksters,
the prince from Namibia or something.
I actually don't feel bad for those people. I look at them and go, "What are you, fucking stupid?"
Well, yeah, I say that to their faces most of the time, which is part of my winning personality.
Idiot.
But on some level, I feel like I'm kicking a puppy when I talk to people.
Like the meme, like, "Oh, look, it's retarded."
Yeah. When I talk to someone like Carl, which thankfully I haven't had to in quite a bit. bit.
Well, you got kicked
Oh yeah,
off
he got
Twitter.
kicked off of Twitter. Brilliant tactical move. So
Don't
yeah,
worry,
I
Carl.
feel like,
I wouldn't even rape you.
yeah, I wouldn't even rape you, Carl. Yeah.
No, seriously.
And people like him. I mean, when you listen to them talk,
Yeah.
like when you listen to Sam Harris and Charles Murray,
Yeah.
what you're listening to is a carnival barker.
Yeah.
What you're listening to is P.T. Barnum.
Yeah.
Right?
Selling you
and they're selling you
shit.
this snake oil, and you buy it because, hey, you know,
he's
you got nothing else.
charismatic. He speaks. How many times have I heard this from anti-feminists?
Yeah, they'll tell you. Yeah, he speaks so nicely.
Yeah, he's polite.
He's polite.
Bunty King recently said, I would be nicer to someone like Richard Spencer because, you know, he exudes niceness.
Yeah. He has an aura.
An aura.
What he said, he had an aura of
niceness. What the hell is
yeah,
that?
let me take a moment. Let me just take a moment.
You moron.
Dear Bunty King. King, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
You are the most profoundly stupid person I've seen online in at least 2 weeks.
That's good.
I know. The turnover
Don't worry,
is
you'll
quick.
lose that title soon enough.
The turnover is quick. No, he'll regain it. He's a contender. Yeah, Bunty King, you're an idiot. Okay. So you have no problem talking to a Nazi, a fucking Nazi.
Someone who wants to exterminate
but someone
you.
who says mean words to you.
Yeah.
Someone who says mean things
not
to
even
you,
mean things.
or is impolite.
Not even impolite or mean things. Christiosity just had a different opinion, and he told her, you know, don't talk
to me, lady.
Yeah, like what the fuck is wrong with you?
And what the fuck is wrong with you is that he's low intelligence, low information.
Yeah.
And you know, I kind of feel bad that I'm kicking a puppy when it, you know.
It's nice to know.
It's like, look, it's spinning around.
It's nice to know that the Nazis can march in and take over if they're polite.
If they're polite, yeah.
Yeah, if they're polite about it. All these guys like Bunty King.
Blitzkrieg were always polite.
Yeah, they'll be like, yeah, come on in. Come have, you know, dinner with me. And then they'll murder your ass. But they were polite about it.
They were polite about it. That's right. That's important.
Yeah.
That's important.
You see how stupid you are?
No, but what astonishes me isn't even that it's about that he literally was talking about neo-Nazis. What I find incredibly telling, and this is part of the reason that I came to the conclusion that this is just another one of these things that skeptics are supposed to debunk.
Which they're not.
They're not. No. Is that you're looking at the surface and going, ooh, shiny, me likey.
Yeah.
And when you look under, you don't care if it's a lump of shit.
Yeah, you're so stupid.
I mean, how rational, skeptical, intelligent is that?
Oh, but Richard Spencer, he speaks well and speaks. Who else was it? The fucking idiot there who interviewed Stefan Molyneux and thought he was a great guy. Not Sam Harris, the other one.
Oh yeah, Shermer.
Michael Shermer. Jesus.
You're a paragon of reason, Stefan Molyneux.
Oh
yeah. Because you don't totally have a fucking cult, which your wife helped you to build and got fucking gigged for by I think it was the APA.
Yeah.
Right? That she's a psychologist or some shit.
Yeah.
And they were like, yeah, you can't do this.
Yeah. No, but
it's totally legit.
He speaks well. Oh well, then let's just invite him in.
But again, look,
because you know the KKK members, right? They used to go burn crosses on people's properties and stuff like that in front of their homes. If they were polite, the black people, they were okay with it.
Excuse me, nigger. Right? Excuse me, nigger. Can I burn a cross on your front lawn?
Don't worry, I won't come onto your porch, but I'll stay right here.
Can I please lynch your 5-year-old son?
We'll clean it all up when we're done. Yeah, okay, no problem, because he's so polite.
He's so polite. Yeah, go ahead. Lynch my kid. Go ahead. Sure.
Oh, God.
He asked nicely.
Oh, God.
I don't see why not.
Stupidity of it all.
You know, that's the thing. What you have in the some people are calling it the septic community.
Yeah, I agree. A septic tank.
What you have is a bunch of people who want too.
Desperately.
Yeah. Look, people, please, never attribute to stupidity that which can adequately be explained by malice.
And he knows that is reversed, right?
No, it's not reversed.
No.
They reversed it.
The original saying.
They fucked it up.
Yeah. The original saying was never attribute to malice, which can.
What can be adequately explained by stupidity?
Yeah, and
but you got it backwards.
No, exactly. Yeah. You've always said.
No, it's backwards. It's backwards. Yeah. No, because I can't. Look, I'm sorry, but I'm not going to assume that you're that stupid. Yeah. I mean, you can demonstrate it to me. You can, by all means, double down on the Nazism. And when the Mouthy Buddha says, yeah, I dog whistle in my videos, you go ahead and say, well, no, he's a legit, commentator or whatever. Go ahead. Don't double down on it. Prove to me that you're a moron. That's okay. But I start off assuming that you are not this profoundly stupid. Yeah. Because that takes away agency from you.
Yeah.
And takes away responsibility. Because what are you going to do? Put him in jail? He's a fucking moron. What are you going to do? Get him fired from his job? He's stupid. He doesn't know what he's saying.
Victor, you're exactly right about Molyneux. Victor says, Molyneux just says a lot of shit rapidly, so you have no time to think about it. My theory is Molyneux uploads a lot of videos daily specifically so he can constantly occupy the minds of his fans before doubt can set in. It's not. You're right, because that's what these cult leaders do. They overwhelm you. This is not anything.
It's like
new.
love bombing.
This is nothing new. They overwhelm you with all this information, and it's for fuck's sake, and it's so quick and so rapid that you don't have time to think about it, nor could you rebut it, because there's just so much in so little a space.
Yeah.
Right.
And look, let's be clear. Stupid people are very taken in by the carnival barker.
Yeah.
They're taken in by it. You got to go to school, or not like a formal school.
It's like listening to an auctioneer.
I was about to say, you got to go to school to learn to be an auctioneer.
Yeah.
You got to get people to buy the pig and the poke.
Yeah.
You gotta sell the snake oil quick.
Yeah.
And stupid people are astounded, flabbergasted, floored by words they don't know. They assume that you're a super genius.
The people who speak in tongues,
like
it's gibberish. It's nothing, right?
But it's impressive. To the stupid.
Yeah.
But you can't assume that people are stupid, right? Because then that takes away your ability to say, "Fuck you, you're responsible for this.
Yeah.
You did this."
Yeah.
Right? This is on you.
Yeah.
You can't do that because you can't. I mean, I can't hold a mentally retarded person responsible for grabbing your boob, or for, they might be punished for it, but I can't morally hold you to account.
No, because
because you kind of don't really realize.
Yeah. I mean,
you can't contextualize it.
Just like a little anecdote about that, right? It's having worked with people with Down syndrome, right? You got to give them a little leeway sometimes. And I'm talking about adults with Down syndrome, right? Because they don't understand things the way that you or I would at 40 something, right? Yeah. Their minds aren't there, right? So, they would give you hugs and they would be very touchy all the time, right? But you kind of have to, you tell them, it's not appropriate or whatever, and they listen to you, but it doesn't sink in.
It doesn't quite sink in.
It doesn't sink in, and so you've got to give some leeway there, right?
Right. But to someone that's online, and you're joining this, I assume that you've read this. I assume that you. I mean, I must have asked like 15 people.
Yeah.
Okay, what's the definition of intelligence? And I got like 14 or 15. No.
Well, you'll always
like 12 answers. Like 3
answers.
People haven't answered me. But that's just it.
You'll never get a real answer because there isn't one.
And
there isn't one.
But I assume you've done this. I assume that you've checked.
You're chasing the unicorn.
Well, no. That's not why I do it. That's not why I do it. I don't do it out of any sense of altruism towards someone as stupid as Bunty King, or someone as stupid as Carl, or someone as stupid as Roaming Millennial. Roaming Millennial, by the way, just as an aside, is mad that they're that I think it was the SPLC or the Anti-Defamation League.
No.
Has
I
listed
can't
her.
remember who it was, but someone listed her as
as a
alt-right
or
no
white supremacist or something. Yeah.
And she got so
Oh yeah,
upset
she's
about
very
it.
angry about that.
And I'm like, well, bitch. And I'm sorry if anyone's offended by me saying that, but bitch, choose your friends better then.
Yeah,
stop spouting all this racist bullshit.
Make better life choices.
So someone came at me because I put something like that out on Twitter, and someone got very upset for roaming millennials
on behalf of someone else.
Yeah.
How very Jewy
and
of them.
They said something to the effect of, she's not a white supremacist, and neither am I, and neither are people like us, and and
yeah, you are.
And so I came back and said, okay, well, if it'll make you feel any better, you're just a run-of-the-mill racist then. Does that make you feel any better? Like, okay, fine, you're not a white supremacist. You don't want to be called that? That's fine. I will respect your pronouns. You don't want to be called a white supremacist?
Yeah,
that's fine.
Yes. I respect your pronouns.
I will respect your pronouns. You don't want to be called a white supremacist? That's fine. So I'm racist.
Well, but my thing about that is,
because I'm sorry, you're not going to get any more than that from me because you're fucking racist.
But these people, it's so, and I saw someone talking to Little Vernaculus, and I thought,
oh God,
and I thought
he's still around.
Oh my God, yeah, you're targeting kids.
Yeah, they are.
You're targeting kids, and a couple of stories have come out, or at least one story that I know of, where the KKK is handing out flyers at high school football games now.
Oh yeah, but that's nothing new. They do that in Alabama.
They target kids.
Yeah, but they've been doing that in Alabama.
Yeah, for a while. But these people, and by these people I mean white supremacists and white nationalists and race realists and whatever. It's almost as if they are the dumbest, most. Okay, wait, no, it's not almost.
Wait. On Sargon's stream with Jared Taylor, he asked Jared Taylor towards the end of the stream. He goes, "By the way, I just want to know, people say that people like me are an entry point into the alt-right. What do you think about it?" Right? And Jared Taylor wouldn't answer the question directly. He wouldn't.
No.
Because I don't think he wanted to say yes because he knew what that would do to Sargon's audiences. So, but he had this big smile on his face when he was answering it. He's like, "Wow," and he's like, big smile. And I'm like, "Yeah, just say yes. Just say yes. He is. He is."
Look,
people like him are fucking entry points into this world of bullshit.
Look, these people. Much like Sam Harris.
Oh, it was right wing watch.
Yes. Yeah. These people, they're propagandists. Whether they're witting or unwitting is immaterial.
People like Jared Taylor see people like Sargon as useful idiots.
Yes.
They really do, because look, Sargon's not purely white, right? He would never.
Well, he says, I don't know.
No, his grandfather is black.
Is he?
Yeah.
Have you seen him?
Yeah. No.
I
okay. Well, I'm
gonna go with Sargon has lied so many times. It wouldn't surprise me if this was another lie.
They wouldn't accept him anyways, based on what he said.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, Jared Taylor doesn't see Sargon as a friend or anything. He sees him as a useful fucking idiot. It's the same with people like that guy T, and who's the other one there? Tyler. Your black friend Tyler. Yeah. These are useful, and Bunty King. These are perfect useful idiots. You're disposable. If and when the time ever comes, you're completely disposable. But for now, we'll use your ass. I mean, how sad is that you prefer to be a useful idiot for these morons? Your life must really suck.
It's not that. It's that it's lucrative, right? And P.T. Barnum was not wrong.
Oh, okay. Poll exposed his grandfather's photo. He is 1/4 black.
Okay.
So yeah, he'll never be accepted.
All right. Yeah. No, he would never. No.
No.
That's not far enough.
Oh hell no.
It's something like 6 generations.
No,
I think
they
had as a rule. Well, the original, the OG Nazis.
The OG.
The OG Nazis had like their rule was like they check 7 generations back or something. I don't know.
Yeah, because they know no one's actually purely white. Because they know
if you keep checking.
Because they know there's no such thing as actually being white. So you know we gotta make a cutoff point somewhere.
Well, the thing of it is that I tried to give Sam Harris the benefit of the doubt. I used to like Sam Harris' stuff, right?
Yeah, back when he was sane.
Yeah, I used to think that, and I have to reread it, I suppose. That his that I forget the title of the exact title of the book. Something about morality, but I forget what it was.
Yeah, all these people, Chris Halfrekin, Blair White, John Tron, Rocky Mystery.
Yeah. They're all
tokens. Yeah, exactly.
They're all tokens, yes.
Because they would all be gassed.
When you're not white enough.
When the race wars come, you guys are going.
Yeah, when the Nazis come down the street and shit. And look, this is not people. I've had people tell me, oh, you're just exaggerating. You're just fear mongering. Like, no, this happened in the 20s. This is exactly what was happening in the 20s in Germany. Yeah. And this is fighting in the streets. Right?
People the same mindset was back then that it is now.
That is not happening.
This will never happen.
It'll never happen. Can't happen here.
Too much of an advanced society.
It'll never happen here.
Never happen. Blah blah blah.
There's not enough of them.
Whatever you're thinking right now, as someone like, if you're someone who's saying no, this will never happen.
I guarantee you, that's what they thought back then.
Your exact thoughts are what people thought back in the 20s.
Yeah.
And in the 30s.
And this IQ thing is one of the ways that they successfully, they're quite successful, splinter people.
Yeah.
Right. And one of the ways that they hide what they mean to do or what they want to do is by using this mealy-mouthed language.
Yeah.
This peaceful ethnic cleansing.
Yeah,
because that's a thing. Except that the guy that said it's not a thing.
Yeah.
Right? It's like this other guy braving ruin.
Yeah.
Right? What was it? Edgy Sphinx, right? The dude's he's an out and out fascist Nazi.
He's proud of it.
He's happy to be a Nazi. He'll tell you all about it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
And he's going, yeah, Mali Buddha, he's a Nazi.
Yeah, and
people are going, no, he's not. No.
The Nazi's telling you he's a Nazi, and you're just gonna ignore what the.
Because he didn't say it. He didn't say it himself because you've never heard of a statement against interest. You've never heard.
What I find funny is things like with the mouthy Buddha, right? People like Jeff Holiday are like, well, he can't possibly be that a racist or a neo-Nazi or whatever because he collaborated with a Jew on these videos.
He's got a black friend.
I see. Have you ever heard of Mike Enoch? Or like what Boss says here, Hitler had Jewish and gay friends he threw under the bus. Exactly. Yeah. So, don't give me that shit. Either, and this is where I have to agree with you with the malice versus stupidity thing. I don't think Jeff is that stupid. I think you're being purposefully.
I think he's purposefully obfuscating facts. And
why? Because you don't like the SJW.
Because that's exactly
because hating SJWs is more important to you than hating people who would fucking kill your wife and kid.
Yeah.
Because they're not white. So, whatever. I think it's like the most retarded thing. I'm saying the word retarded. I think it's the most retarded thing ever. Jeff, you're retarded.
Well, I think he's well aware that we think that.
Yeah, well.
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they're not white. His wife's part Native American.
Oh yeah, she's going to the gas chambers too if they have them, eh? Yeah. But see, that's the thing, right? History doesn't repeat itself so much as it rhymes, because circumstances are different today.
Yeah.
It's harder to sell the Jews did it.
Yeah.
The Jews are responsible for everything. You need the myth of IQ.
Yeah.
You need it so you can say the Ashkenazi Jews sent Weinstein to corrupt our women's. Because otherwise, what?
Yeah, Jeff has a mixed child because his wife is not white. So if you're talking about these ethnic cleansing morons, they would not.
They would kick your ass out.
And I don't even know if Jeff is fully like white in the way we see like consider white. But he's spoken on it before that memory is part Native American, which means his son is also part Native
American, which means that what the fuck is going through your goddamn mind defending fashy people? And I'm sorry,
who literally hate your wife and your son.
Look,
I could never do that.
I don't care
because I'm considered white. I could never ever do that because that would be such a smack in the face to you and
well,
my
not
son.
just that. It would be like signing a death warrant if these people ran things.
I know, but do you see what I'm saying?
And by the way,
like how insulting is that to my family?
Yeah. And by the way, the sky isn't falling, right?
And yes, one of his siblings is married to a black guy. I think it's his sister.
The alt-right, and by that I mean not just their water carriers and their supporters.
Yes, Ron, I want you to share that. He says, I have a neat thing about Melfi Buddha you want me to share with
Yes, absolutely. Gossip is always good. Gossip is fun. Look, it's not the sky is falling. It's happening. This is worldwide.
Yeah.
Right? They are organized, right? These fashy people, they are organized. They do have groups. They do, and not just in the States.
Yeah, no, I already did a video on this because I like I like the excuse. Like someone said, "Oh, the KKK only has like 6,000 members."
So what?
You know, it's not just the KKK that exists as a hate group, right? Like,
but
like,
more than that, that's just a talking point.
I know, but I was in a video. I was like, "How stupid can you be?" Like you've got
it's deliberate obtuseness. That's what
of neo-Nazi hate groups.
The number of white affiliated white Aryan militias has gone up.
Just here in Quebec, La Meute, which is a white supremacist, has 45,000 members. That's just one. That's one group.
One group. Yeah.
One group. So
and so these people are they and by the way, in case you were unaware, there are many police who are also fasci and Nazi.
Oh God, yeah.
More than one has been caught
in the military.
Yeah, more than one cop has been caught with plenty of Nazi tattoos and shit.
And Facebook posts where we should kill all the niggers and whatever.
And just so you're aware, the militias, right? The gun nut militias, they do send some of their members off to the service, the Army, the Marines, the Navy, whatever, to learn the skills that they would need to use if they were open warfare.
Most of them ex-military?
No, not most of them aren't. Some of them are. Okay. Some of them are ex-military members. Yeah.
Yeah, but they teach each other what they've learned, right? So,
well, but that's why they send people to join the service so that you can come back and teach other people.
Did you ever meet people like that when you were in the military?
You know what? I was so politically unaware when I was in my teens
that
it didn't occur to me to even think about it.
Yeah.
Because there was dark green Marines and light green Marines, and we were all green Marines anyway.
Yeah. And so plus it was a different time.
And it's a different time. Yeah.
This was what, back in the 90s, I guess?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
In the politically correct 90s.
In the let me tell you something about the 90s. People got laid in the 90s.
Oh yeah.
And anime pillows were not a thing.
No, the 90s were like the free love 60s, man.
Sort of, yeah. In some ways, yeah.
Although we were a little more concerned about AIDS and stuff, so we had condoms.
Yeah. But other than that,
it was free love with the rubber.
Casual sex was a thing. Casual sex was a thing. Yes, there wasn't this, oh my God, he raped me. Oh, all this other stuff that goes on today on college campuses. What is going on? That's just the roofie the bitch.
You all are prudes. Like I gotta say.
We got drunk and fucked. That's what we did. And we thought it was fine.
Yeah.
Nobody lost their shit. People didn't lose their jobs.
And if you woke up and you were like, oh fuck,
like, oh shit, she's hideous.
Or I can't.
Or oh my God, what the fuck is that dude doing in my house?
You walked it off. You were like, that was the rum and coke, the extra rum and coke I had last night. Oh boy.
Next time, less rum and coke. It was like that. Yeah. For some of us. For some of us, not for
the good
all.
old 90s.
But look, the sky. It's not that the sky is falling. It's that this is happening, right? It's
no,
not
the
to the
sky
point.
already fell and hit a bunch of people in the head.
It's not to the point. It's not irreversible at this point, but it soon will be. Soon enough. Soon enough.
I don't know. The stupid just seems
it depends on where.
at this time.
It depends on where. I think in Austria. I could be wrong. Somebody mentioned it, and I briefly saw it on Twitter that some not white supremacists, a white nationalist group won a significant amount of seats in parliament.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't know if it was Austria or somewhere else.
No,
but
it starts with an A, but I can't remember where it was. But yeah.
Yeah. It's happening. It's happening now, and one of the things that you need to be aware of.
I blame education, like educators and stuff, a lot for this though, because they need to get off their asses and start educating kids the right way now. Because this is enough is enough. We've got kids in elementary school, and the stuff they teach is abysmal. Kids can't read. Our kids can read because we make them read at home, right?
Yeah.
But in general, I'm saying, do math, they can't this, they can't, they don't think abstractly. Enough is enough with this shit, because the dumber the population is, the
easier it is to put one over on them.
Exactly.
The easier it is to convince you to do stupid things.
We need to start at the bottom, which is, preschool, elementary school, and stuff. And you need to bring back rote, and you need to bring back the literature that you find unacceptable.
And civics classes.
You need to bring this back. I cannot emphasize.
Well, that's why
enough.
I think the German government unbanned Mein Kampf. I think, right? Yeah. And they issued an edition of it, a modern edition of it, with annotations to all the things that Hitler was saying and talking about. But
I gotta say, look, I'm all for respecting people and respecting other people's cultures and this, that. I'm all for that. But there are certain things that we need to know. We cannot forget our history. We can't, right now, one school district is banning To Kill a Mockingbird because it has the word nigger in it.
Yeah, okay? No. We need to know. No, we need to know what things were like.
You can't forget. Because when you forget,
that's when you
get
repeat.
This.
That's when you repeat shit,
and
because you don't know it.
I'm going to put part of the blame on feminism, because they wrote in and a lot of this new math and this education shit is at the fault of them. Right?
Yeah, you can lay some of it at the feet of some feminists.
And I will lay some of the blame there, because you now have gutted the system, so kids are coming out less educated, and that's not good.
Boss says it's Austria. Yeah, so I was right.
Austria.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I'm not saying that to offend any feminists or anything, but the blame has to be put at the feet of the people who did it, and a lot of people in education since the 70s or whatever,
the 60s
are feminists, right? For a good portion of them, and they're dictating the curriculum and the this and the that, and we don't want them to read this, and we don't want them to.
We don't want
stop it. Enough.
Yeah, no, you need to. You need to know.
They need to hear. I mean, I remember when I went to school, we had to learn about what happened in our history here in Canada, right, with the residential schools, and so we had to watch a movie. I can't remember the name of it, but it was about the residential schools, and it was an award-winning movie, but it was so graphic. It was graphic. It was like the priest was you didn't see it happening in the video, but you knew it was going on, that he was fucking the kids, and then he was beating the kids, and that they killed the kids, and that they did this and that. And they showed us this in high school. Can you imagine showing something like that today? Can you imagine? Could you imagine the outcry that people would have? You can't show my child that. Oh, I'm sorry. Can you imagine what happened to the kids that were actually in the residential school? You need to show this shit. Life is not a picnic.
So look, I for all the haters, right? I am pro free speech. The problem with fascism is that it is against free speech.
Yeah, it is.
And so that particular kind of speech has to be stopped. And
look at Trump.
And
he doesn't want to let the media have a voice anymore. I mean, how much more proof do you need that this shit is not pro-free speech? So why should I give you a platform if you want to deny everybody else's?
Exactly. Well, that's the point, right? That's the point.
I made a video about that too. I made a video about that, and I got so much pushback from these morons. Like, oh, you're against free speech then? No, I'm not against free speech. I'm saying those fuckers over there are against free speech.
But the problem is that when you have, this is why I don't encourage anyone to have these arguments on Twitter or whatever.
It's useless. It's so useless.
Yeah. Excuse me. The people that we're talking about, they don't care about you. They don't care about your free speech. They don't care about your rights. They don't. They don't.
Look at Richard Spencer. He wants women not to be able to get the vote. I mean, how much more do you need? How much more proof do you need? Oh no, but he speaks well. Oh, okay. Fuck you.
But IQ is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not. It's part and parcel of what they're selling you. And what they're selling you is no better or worse. Well, no, it's much worse than astrology. But that's what it is. It's not science. It's not
at least
factual.
Astrology isn't out to fucking genocide your ass.
Yeah, at least astrology doesn't want to kill you.
Yeah, yeah.
But these guys do. These guys do. They would if they could. Ask. He made a whole video about how he would blow the immigrant boats out of the water, just blow them up.
Women and children,
women and children included.
Everywhere.
And he said it was the worst death you can imagine.
But what else are you gonna do?
But
right?
what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah, not kill those people. How about that? You know. But yeah. The thing that got me about the whole IQ thing when I started to look through it is that it's snake oil.
Mm-hmm.
It's all snake oil. It's it's not that there's that there isn't data. There's data. Of course there is. They've been doing these kinds of tests for at least 100 years.
Yeah.
It's that it's bad data.
Yeah.
Is that it doesn't reflect anything. It doesn't. No, I'm sorry. It doesn't predict what it says that it's going to predict, which is life outcomes.
There's a correlation causation problem here.
And it's not science. I'm sorry. Psychologists have to abandon this notion.
Phrenology, craniometry, race realism, or scientific racism, whatever you want to call it. This is not science. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. And the problem is that your argument, if you're one of these people, relies on conspiratorial bullshit. Yeah. You're telling me that all the psychologists around the world were like, oh, we don't like this Charles Murray guy. Fuck him.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Except for 51 of them who signed the letter that this woman put in the Wall Street Journal.
Yeah, the race realist. Because no racist ever gets a degree in psychology, right? Right? I mean, you know, Jordan Peterson.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Look, there is no. If you're interested in it, I guess you could spin your wheels if you're into that. Go ahead and take a look at the information yourself. But at the end of the day, until you have a working definition of intelligence that actually doesn't mealy mouth its way through the entirety of it.
Yeah, which I have yet to see one.
And like I said, I contacted like 15 people or 16. I have to check. And like 12 of them came back to me, and I got like 12 different responses.
Yeah, you always will.
And like I said, like 3 of them or 4 of them, I don't know. I have to check my email. They didn't get back to me, like 3 or 4 of them. And so yeah, you can do it if you want, but the truth is, it's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's just fucking. It's trash. It's junk science. It's junk science.
Yep.
And on that note, I would like to mention that tomorrow, I'm going to be doing I asked you to update your article on circumcision.
Yes, I will update the article on circumcision, which is a really involved article. So I got to go through every link and make sure they're working and make sure they're still up to date.
Well, we're going to post it tomorrow. We're going to post it tomorrow.
The original, yes.
The original.
The updated one will be coming eventually because, oh my God, the research involved in updating it is...
Yeah.
But yes, it's something I want to do.
But I got I got some stuff. Look, and people tell me, you know, well, no, you're pandering to feminists. Like, no, 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 no. On important issues that we need to talk about now, not an inch, right? Someone in my mentions that follows me or used to follow me, I don't know, was like, oh no, it's the male genital mutilation isn't a thing. It was like, yeah, oh yes it is.
Yeah.
Oh yes it is. I don't care how badly MRAs have poisoned that well.
Yeah.
It's still a thing. It's still an issue.
Yeah, can I just say this? When you want to hear things about circumcision and whatever, stop following MRAs and go to the intactivists, please.
Well,
please.
Some intactivists.
Most intactivists. Brother K is one of the ones I follow on Twitter.
Doesn't want anything to do with the men's rights people.
He's like a 70-year-old intactivist. That is his life. He fights to end circumcision in the United States and Canada. And he's been doing this for a long time. And they're actually gaining some traction. Follow him on Twitter.
Brother K. At Brother K.
Brother K, yeah.
And David Surratt, which a lot of people know.
Surratt, yes.
He is a new kind. I mean, and I'm not trying to plug the kid, right?
No, he's a new type of MRA.
I've seen him, and I've seen some of his videos, and I've talked to him, and he's a decent kid.
My God,
and if
all MRAs were like David, I would probably go back to calling myself an MRA. But no, they're not. So,
no. But what is it now? At alternate facts.
Oh God. Hold on, let me see.
You're the one that does research and stuff. That's not my job. It's not my job. It's not my job.
Ron, I think you know what David Surratt's thing is.
Yeah. So.
Oh, here. Okay, it's at LTERNATE_facts. So instead of an A for alternate, it's a 4.
It's a 4, yeah.
So 4 instead of the A, so it's alternate_facts, except a 4 instead of an A.
Because someone came on the mentions into my mentions and said that, you know, it's not a thing and it's, you know, fuck that.
But the thing is,
I'm like, wait a minute. How callous are you to children?
Yeah, but not just that. The person in question was like being very condescending and mocking towards men and boys who've been circumcised. And I'm like, fuck you, you cunt. I'm sorry if that's not very feministy to say, but fuck you. You know, if anyone was saying that about a woman who had gone through FGM, you'd be up in arms about it. But no, because it's little boys, fuck them. Screw you. No.
Our son was not circumcised.
I wanted to punch the nurse when she asked.
Yeah. And we're not for that. And there are no medical benefits except in the cases where it's a requirement for like 2 or 3 different illnesses that
or an infection
or an infection.
Yeah. Unless it's like medically.
It's rarely medically necessary. And by the way, it doesn't get done in the cleanest of circumstances. A lot of people that I know that defend it, a lot of the white guys, and they're white guys.
Yeah.
Their reference point is U.S. hospitals or Canadian hospitals or British hospitals.
Yeah.
Let me tell you, most circumcisions do not happen in nearly so clean an environment.
Africa, for one, they chop off the boy's foreskin with dirty machetes and shit, and they just pull it like across a wooden, like an old wooden plank, and if they miss, oh well. It's oh my God, it's horrific. Yeah. It's fucking horrific.
So we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I already scheduled that.
Yeah.
Talking about losing followers and stuff. Look, feminists, I'm down with you on all sorts of stuff.
Oh yeah.
I'm down with you on FGM. I don't think it's a good thing. No. I think it needs to be stopped. I'm glad that it's outlawed in most of the developed world. I don't know about it in other places, but
well, in Britain apparently it's been making a comeback. So.
And that needs to stop too.
Yeah.
That needs to stop too. And somebody was telling me, you know, well, we got to take care of this Nazi shit first. Like, look, we can walk and chew gum at the same time.
Yeah.
You know, we have to, you know, this is not.
Well, if you follow me on Twitter, you'll see every once in a while I'll retweet something on circumcision or I'll voice my opinion on it because it is something I follow and it is something.
This is junk science, just like IQ is.
Yeah.
It's junk science, and actually skeptical people need to call these people out.
You know, I actually lost,
not the skepticologists.
You know, I actually lost a friend because of circumcision, because she married a Jewish guy, and they had a son, right? So she was all over Facebook like, "Oh, my son's getting circumcised. Da, 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 da. We're having a big party."
Like, you're a fucking monster.
I said to her, I said, "You're disgusting. Like, really, you're disgusting." I said, "You're gonna chop off a bit of your kid just for a fucking religion?" And we had this whole thing, and I was like, you know what? Fuck you. You want to mutilate your kid? Go ahead, but don't ever talk to me again. And that was it. I'd known her since elementary school. I was like, fuck you. This was like 5 years ago, I guess. I told her to fuck off.
So to all the haters,
because I don't think I could ever look at her again, knowing what she did to her little boy.
Yeah. Unless you've seen the videos with the screaming infants.
And when they stop screaming, it's not because they're okay with it.
It's not because they're okay. It's shock.
It's
literally it's shock.
Febrile shock. Whatever.
Yeah, febrile shock.
Febrile. Yeah.
Yeah, you really are having a bad day with words, aren't you?
I'm tired, man.
Yeah.
And my throat hurts.
Well, the party and everything. So, but look, we're gonna cover that tomorrow, or I'm gonna cover that tomorrow. I don't know if you're gonna be here too.
I'll be here.
You'll be here.
Where the hell am I gonna go? I live in this house.
Well, I thought okay, no, it's a different day. All right. Jesus, these worms take a mile. She thinks the patriarchy's gone from this house. Let me tell you something, lady. This is a patriarchy here. Calm your titties. Calm your titties.
It's a patriarchy.
That's right. No, it's a patriarchy.
Sometimes.
It's a patriarchy. Calm your titties. Calm your titties. Calm your titties.
My big anime titties.
you put up that video of our of the
if anyone hasn't heard it on my channel, there's a video where my 9-year-old is very upset about anime boobies. They're too big.
Oh God. Okay. So on that note, go visit the website. Give me all your monies.
Yes, give us all your money.
Now,
because we have a teenager who's 15 who's eating us out of house and home. I'm
gonna cut off her arm. I'm gonna feed her arm.
If you want to save her arm, you have to send us.
That's right. That's right. Send me all your monies, or I'm chopping off my kid's arm. That's it. That's it. That's a better way to make money online.
There you go. Threats of violence.
We didn't do it. No. Our house is fine.
It'll be a peace.
The house in Puerto Rico may not be that fine.
It'll be a peaceful arm separation.
Yes, okay? It'll be a peaceful arm separation. That's what it'll be. Our stuff is fine. Our house is fine. The one in Puerto Rico may not be so fine.
I think the one in Puerto Rico is probably
it may have floated away or something. I don't know. But no, I don't know. Send me all your monies, or the kid gets it.
The kid gets it.
That's it. That's all there is to it. I'm holding the world hostage. Well, I'm holding the one hostage, and
all right, dear. So
yeah,
sure.
Okay.
Say goodnight. Say goodnight, dear.
Good night, dear. Wait. Oh, I'm too tired.
Yeah, but you're the one who has to shut down the stream, not me. You're sitting here waiting for me to do something. It's not my stream.
This is a patriarchy, damn you.
Yeah, say goodnight, dear.
Good night, dear.